Give a friendly introduction. Or not. But clearly we know what Jermaine does with his money. He drinks it away as they slowly merge into one being. Oh no. Must have been all those drinks. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and a happy new year to you all. This is, I believe, episode 3 of my Sims 4 Let's Play soap opera, The Rich and the Fabulous. And today we are going to follow Chet Noir as he actually goes on his investigation to find out more into the Ravenwood family. So, right now we're about to go and figure out more on that. So let's get him to travel. Okay guys, here we are at the Ravenwood estate, and Chet Noir is going to, talk to Shadow Ravenwood and get some information, and then see about his investigation afterward. So let's watch as he knocks on the door. Alright, now we have to go to Shadow Ravenwood and talk to her. So here he goes. Okay guys, so he found her upstairs in clearly her lingerie, and he's going to talk to her, and he's like, okay, so what is it you exactly want me to investigate about the family? And she's like, she wants him to look around things, talk to them, find out a little bit more, because they're very secretive, and she's doesn't understand why, especially considering she, married into the family. So today we're going to go on an investigation with him. He's trying to get to know as much as he can. And she's like, feel free to look around the house. Feel free to. Okay, so she just paid us $500 to, look around the house and to find out what's going on and to do our job for the day. Chet Noir is very smart. So he knows that something is up outside, especially considering everybody seems to go to the back here in order to go into the basement, which usually you'd be able to access from the inside of the house. So we'll have him come down here. And he sees a lark dressed really weird, but I think he should definitely introduce himself. Give a friendly introduction. Or not. Never mind anyways, it's good because we need to come down here and investigate, and we can't have anybody down here, so. There appears to be more to this basement than meets the eye. And the door's locked, so clearly Chet's gonna have to pick the lock, which makes it even more suspicious that they want to be in this place with the door locked. And considering he doesn't see them, they're too busy to really see him. We're gonna have him come here, and he'll pick this lock here. But clearly we know what Jermaine does with his money. He drinks it away. Well, Chet just broke in, so now let's come down here and find out what's down here. Oh, there appears to be a whole lab down here. Might as well take a clean shower in order to enter this lab. See, this is a pretty big lab. Let's come here. Let's see. Uh-oh. And there appears to be video cameras. That's not good. Well, you better get on here and see what you can look up. We gotta come in here and delete the video camera footage for today so that he won't be able to be caught. This must be a Lark's lab. Just what exactly is he doing down here? Very suspicious. This is all going to go in Chet Noir's PI book about what's going on in this place. Let's just hope nobody comes in the meantime. Let's watch as Chet investigates. Should definitely take notes. Kind of looks like he's making a mental note of everything. Let's see, it's coming here. Look at all these utensils. There definitely is something going on in this family. That must be the experiments that a Lark is doing. Gotta get samples of all that stuff. Chet's smart, but he's not scientifically smart, so all that kind of probably looks like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, so we've got to go snooping around some more to find out what is going on here. Just hurry before Lark comes back. Guess he has to pick another lock. In the meantime, look what's going on here. It looks like surgery. Looks like a surgical table. An experimental room, and this is all underneath their house. Jeez, man, I wonder what the hell's going on here. By the way, Chet's ability to pick locks is just his ability to teleport. We're not going to ask questions. We're just going to pretend that, you know, he's picking locks. See what this cell looks like. I guess he's gonna look in here to see what's going on. He's like, there's some very shady stuff going on here, that this entire lab is underneath the Ravenwood home. It's like, what is going on here? Well, don't you worry, guys. We will find out in due time. It looks like there are human experiments going on down here. Okay, so now Chet's gonna tell her what he found downstairs. So, okay, so he's about to tell her what he just witnessed. He's like, there's a lab down there, an entire lab. And from what he found, he was able to see that it's Lark's lab, which is her husband's brother's lab. And she's like, what? There's a whole lab underneath this entire manor? And he's like, yes, an entire lab doing human experimentation. She's like, that's very good to know. So now he's like, I'm going to go investigate some more. And she's like, you do that. So now, uh-oh, a Lark's home. We better sneak out here and pretend that, we don't know what's going on. Oh, good. He was able to sneak out. Well, the first place to look is to go back home, because we're going to have to figure out through his brother Cormac's computer skills to find out if there's anybody that they know who can, go through all this information and find out if there's anything on record about it. First things first, though, he's got to write all this down in their case for... Alright, Chet Noir is writing down everything that he found and all the information that he got on the lab that's located underneath the Ravenwood Manor, and why there's a lab underneath there to begin with, which is really odd. And now, because Cormac is really good at being able to, decipher things, because he's kind of like the computer savvy part of their investigation, their, private investigations. He's going to look up on his phone some things. Now he's calling Shadow Ravenwood, and he's like, okay, I've got everything down, and I'm going to do some more, research. And she's like, okay, so now we're going to have to figure out what this means about the Ravenwood family, that there's this whole lab, almost like tunnel lab, underneath their home. So, by process of elimination, they're going to have to ask around. So, Chet and his brother Cormac are both going to have to, travel to find out what's going on. So here they are at the Shrieking Llama, because they're coming here to find out what's going on. They're going to ask questions to find out. So now they've got to do some investigations together while they find out what's going on with this Ravenwood family. And see, Chet's talking to this Landon going, have you heard about the Ravenwood family? Have you ever heard of them? And there's Nancy Landgrab, so let's see what he can get out of her by doing a funny introduction. See, we're going to pester Nancy Landgrab because she seems to know everything. Because she is kind of a town gossip. And she's into some very shady shit herself. So he's like, do you know anything on the Ravenwood family? And she's like, I might know some things. She's not the kind to share too much. She's like, I might know some things, but I'm not the sharing kind. He's like, what if I told you that there could be some money in it for you? Because Nancy Landgrab's a gold-digging bitch, so anything that requires money or getting money, she's up for. She's like, I know that they have a long family history of being shady and mysterious. And then she tells them, but no one's ever met the Ravenwood family except for who they are now, the 4 sons. She's like, but nobody knows where they came from beforehand, just they've heard of the name. And he's like, no one knows who their parents were? And she's like, no. She's like, they just know. We just know the Ravenwoods as they are now, and all we know is that they are all we know is that they're a family that has been around for a couple years, and that they're old money, but we don't know where they get the old money from, and they don't know who the parents are of the Ravenwood brothers. He's like, So while Cormac is chatting up everybody, we're going to have Chet find out what's going on down here. He goes, I know I'm interrupting your guys' club meeting, but I want to know what's going on. I think Benatar Rock just sent one of her armed guards to go upstairs to have Chet here thrown out, but she's like, I don't know what you want, but this isn't going to be happening here. And see, he's trying to find out if she knows anything about the Ravenwood family. She's like, I know some things, not a whole bunch. And he's like, that's why I'm here. Because I guess Benatar Rock is like one of those people who, she does dirty dealings and maybe she owns this business. She's kind of like maybe a mob woman or whatever. As they slowly merge into one being. Oh no. Must have been all those drinks. Actually, you know what? That's not our problem. We shouldn't clean that. Let's just use this. Just wash hands. And brush your teeth because you just puked. Cormac is getting around. He's talking to Katrina Caliente, and she's like, I don't know much about the Ravenwood family. So she's like, that's all I really know about them. Because Katrina Caliente is kind of like also a rich bitch, kind of like how Benatar Rock and Nancy Lamb Grab are really rich, those rich women who have time on their hands to gossip and get information about people. So now that we found that out, I think it's time to go home. So what they've learned is that the Ravenwood family has been here for about, the Ravenwood siblings have been here for about a couple years now, and they're old money, but nobody knows how old they are, how old money they are, and where they actually come from, and who the father or parents are of the Ravenwood siblings, just that they've been here for a while and everybody knows them as being rich. And so that's what they've learned. So now they're going to go back home, enter that into their case files, and then they'll be able to tell, Phil, Shadow Ravenwood in on the rest. Now that they've done that, Cormac, instead of Chet, will come here and enter this all into the computer. Well, Chet calls Shadow Ravenwood. So now they're entering this into their database and case files. And Chet here's going to look in a history book on Brindleton Bay to find out, if there's any history or historic information about the Ravenwoods, because it's interesting that everybody seems to know about them, but only having known about them for the last couple years, but not known about them, past that point, and not having ever seen their parents if the family has been here for years and they're old money. Chet's gonna call Ravenwood again and tell her that he couldn't find any history on the Ravenwood family. he's going to call Shadow Ravenwood and tell her, you know, he can't find anything on them. It's almost like they weren't here and then just one day up and just popped into the neighborhood. So I think what he'll do, because she doesn't want to answer the phone, I guess because the family's around, she's afraid they might hear, is he'll send her a text. And Chet Noir is going to look in some other history books to find out if anything else is going on. Anyways, I'm going to end this episode today right here, having found out what we have thus far about the Ravenwood family. A, that there is a lab that's located underneath their basement underneath their home, which looks like they're doing human experiments. And from what Chet could find out is that it belongs to a Lark, Kuth's brother. And the second thing is that when they talk to people, people have heard of the Ravenwood family and them being old money, but they've only heard of the siblings. They don't know who their parents are, even though the Ravenwood family is supposed to have been in Brindleton Bay for several decades, but yet nobody's ever heard of them until recently. But somehow they all know that they're old money without actually knowing for sure that they're old money. So we're going to find out more in the next episode as to what that lab is used for, and to find out, you know, where the Ravenwood family actually came from, if they're even really from Brindleton Bay, or if there even is a Ravenwood family to begin with. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.